Now, you might remember on Friday we heard from 80-year-old Paul Harvey, who lives with dementia. He became an internet sensation when he composed a piece of music spontaneously after his son gave him just 4 notes.
Absolutely love this story. Now, the BBC Philharmonic Orchestra has recorded a version of his composition, and it will be heard for the first time this morning.
We're going to find out more in just a moment, but first, let's listen to Paul's amazing piano skills.
F natural, A, D, B natural. Those are your 4 notes. Do, 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 do.
I wasn't trying to do a party trick. I can do that sort of thing. And yes, it just took off. It was ridiculous. With music, you can do whatever you want with it in your mind. And that's how I feel about music. I think music just carries on at a higher level than the printed word. We're living in a very peculiar world at the moment, and things aren't good. If it gives people pleasure or being moved is pleasure, that's great.
How brilliant is that? I'm thrilled to say we're joined now by Paul's son, Nick Harvey, and also Paddy O'Connell, the presenter of BBC Radio 4's Broadcasting House. Nick, Paddy, good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Nick, let me start with you. I've been looking at how this has gone around the world. Those tweets, that initial video that you put up has truly gone viral, hasn't it? Just give me a sense of what it's meant to you and your dad.
It's been absolutely crazy. It's been wonderful. It's been a whirlwind, a total roller coaster over the past few weeks, but it's been amazing. And I'm loving it, of course, and Dad's loving it. I'm just really, really happy that Dad is getting the international recognition as a musician that I've always known he deserves. 80 years old and he's become world famous. It's crazy.
It is brilliant, isn't it? Paddy, if I could come to you, how did you react when you heard Paul play for the first time?
Well, I'm one of those people who grew up with a teacher trying desperately to make me practice.
Me too.
Blowing, banging, bashing away, you know. I bet you, Sally, you've probably tried in the past. Paul's an inspirational teacher who helped people when he was at work, but he's kind of taught me and our listeners about living with dementia. So he was a teacher in his life of music, and now he's a teacher about the human spirit.
Oh, what a lovely way to describe it. Now, Nick, what I'm curious about is, in those moments when your dad is playing, is it like he's back again? Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah, no, totally. Dad, the severity of his dementia fluctuates from day to day, and when it's bad, it can be pretty grim, really. And when it's like that, if I'm with him, I like to try to persuade him to get up to the piano and play. And honestly, the power of music is a wondrous thing. He comes back to life. It's transformational. And in this instance, I remembered an old party trick that he used to do, and the rest is history. He created this absolutely stunning piece of music on the spot. And amazingly, the BBC Philharmonic have recorded it. What on earth is going on? This is crazy.
Yeah, and Paddy, let me bring you in at this point, because I know you played the music, didn't you, at the end of Broadcasting House, your programme on the radio, and explain how the Philharmonic came on board.
Well, basically, our listeners have been saying to us, I don't know about viewers of BBC Breakfast, but they've been saying, dear BBC, in your tool bag, do you have anything other than a daily diet of doom? Is there anything else you've got?
Sounds familiar.
Have you got anything? And so suddenly we played this, and our listeners said, OK, you've alighted accidentally because you want to tell us we're all going to die, but you've accidentally alighted on something which implies that humans can survive and thrive in the most horrible of circumstances. So can you not let this go? So we were told by our listeners to get this orchestrated. We rang the BBC Philharmonic, who are based, like you, in Salford, and they've been, just like the composer, under their stairs in a Harry Potter style or in their bedrooms, recording this in lockdown. And the piece of music they've created is in isolation. And it's very moving to me to think that they've taken their lead from Nick's dad, Paul, and they've done what they can. And do you know what it is? It's in solidarity, because there are thousands of people who live with dementia, and they're not demented. They live with dementia. And so, as I said to you at the beginning, Sally, Ben, what Paul has done is taught us a lesson. And I'm very proud and pleased to say that we're students who are listening.
Oh, Paddy, I couldn't agree more. Now, Nick, you said about your dad, this actually could be a whole new beginning for him. What's next?
Yeah,
What's your dream?
Well, what's been really interesting, actually, over the past few weeks is this whole experience has really rejuvenated Dad. He came over for lunch last Sunday, and my wife and kids noticed that he was much more focused, much more present, much more. He just had the zip that he used to have, and I haven't seen him that lucid in a long time. So I'm hoping that he carries on writing music, of course, and carries on playing. But with this recording, we're going to release it as a record to raise money for Alzheimer's Society and Music for Dementia. So fingers crossed, this will be released next Sunday, the 1st of November, so on all major streaming platforms, and all proceeds will go to those two charities. So that's the immediate future.
Which is brilliant. I mean, that's incredible, isn't it?
And Paddy, we're at that time of year when we might be talking about sort of Christmas number ones, all that sort of thing. High hopes for this?
Yeah, well, I mean, Dad would make a good Santa Claus, actually. He needs to grow his beard a bit.
Paddy, what do you make of it?
No, well, I make of it that I feel like you do, really, and we've all of us have been so impressed by your team. You know, the breakfast team, your viewers and your colleagues have helped and assisted Nick. And I spoke to Nick last night to make sure, you know, that Paul is okay, because obviously we're the media. We're very good at arriving in people's lives, changing it, and then moving on. And so we've done with you. We've worked very hard to make sure that Paul and Nick feel that this is okay. And you know, guess what? It is okay. And just to reassure your viewers and our listeners, it is what it is. It came accidentally to people's attention, and they want it taken care of, and they want it looked after. And I think you're right. There is a lot of interest in what happens, and rightly so, because at this time, you know, what is there other than pluck, other than pride, and also other than passion? I feel like you do. I feel very, very happy to have met Paul and Nick.
Nick, and a final thought from you. You're nodding along there to what Paddy is saying. Tell me how you're going to listen to it with with your dad later. You've got him some new speakers, haven't you?
Well, I've plugged in the speakers that he's had for a long time that he hasn't used in a while. So I went around there a few days, and I've set up a really good sound system. I'm going to pop over there. Actually, Dad's watching at the moment, so Dad, I will be with you in half an hour. Okay, so. So I'll go around there, and we're going to listen to it live. Neither of us obviously have heard it, and I'm sure we'll be very moved by it. Unless, of course, it's just a solo bassoon being played through lots of guitar pedals or something. But I don't think I'll take that experimental route.
It's so lovely to speak to you both, Paddy and to Nick. Thank you. And also to Paul, if you're watching, as Nick says, very good morning to you too. We'll all be listening a little later.
Can I just say to Paul directly, I've got piano envy. Your piano is beautiful. Absolutely
to be able to do
gorgeous.
That as well.
Yeah.
What a party trick.
It's a real talent. And you can listen to the first play of Four Notes, Paul's tune, on Radio 4 at 9 o'clock this morning. We'll have more on Paul's story here on Breakfast tomorrow from 6.
Yeah, really looking forward to that.